As a new, returning, or consistent player here in Albion Online, one of the questions that I consistently get asked is, what is the best methods for making silver? Now, there are different hardcore methods in this game for making silver that come and go. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But in this video, I'm going to give you 3 methods that are tried and true. I've used them myself, and they can be used as a new player to get started for making silver and building your personal economy here in Albion Online. I'm going to walk you through each one and give you a brief overview, as well as I'm going to point you in the right direction, because for the 3 points I'm going to be giving in this video, I have other content on the YouTube channel that goes more in depth on these methods if you want to get really involved with whichever one you find the most interesting. So the first method that we are going to talk about is faction warfare. Now, for faction warfare as a new player, it's very easy to get involved, and you can do faction warfare in the yellow zone, which is a non-lethal, so you won't even lose your gear. I am currently in Fort Sterling, and this is going to be the faction enlistment. All I do is I run up, I'll sign up for faction, I can flag, but once you flag for faction warfare, you start gaining tokens when you do open world activities in the yellow and red zones. So you can do only yellow zones if you want, and you try to get involved with the different types of faction warfare that the people that are out fighting. And if you want to get more details on faction warfare, I have a video on the YouTube channel fully explaining the type of activities as well as how to get involved as a solo player in faction warfare. But long story short, you want to build up tokens so that you can buy these iron campaign chests or mountain hearts. Mountain hearts right now sell on the market usually between somewhere to 40 to 50k a piece, and then iron campaign chests will have silver bags. It'll have tomes in it that you can use to level up your gear and character, as well as it has different items that you can sell on the market. So this is a really good way to make money and build your funds as a new or returning player. The next one I'm going to talk about is solo dungeons. Solo dungeons here in Albion Online is a lucrative way to make silver and build your personal economy in more of a safer PvE fashion. Now, when it comes to solo dungeons, I will forever recommend running them in the black zone. When it comes to running them in the black zone, you run it from the portal town. So for example, if we were working out of Fort Sterling, we can use any tier map inside of the Fort Sterling portal, and we can go to any of these zones, whichever one it pops up, pop into the dungeon, run the dungeon, get the loot, and bring it back to the portal. Now, when I say it like that, it sounds very easy, but there are a lot of things you need to consider, like dungeon divers who might try to steal your dungeon as well as steal your loot. There's bad spawns as well. Some of the dungeons are RNG. Well, all of the dungeons are RNG. So some dungeons you can run a tier 7.1, which is a tier 7 enchant 1 dungeon scroll, which you can buy off the market. And sometimes you might walk out of there with a mil plus, sometimes you might walk out of there with not even 200k. So it is something that has the random number generator aspect of an MMO, but from the testing that I've done on my YouTube channel, I've made really good money from running solo dungeons. And if you do want to get more knowledge and want to learn how to run these safely, I do have some content that I will put it in the description on how to run these dungeons safely, as well as some of the profit tests that I did, and the type of, you can see the type of silver that I got running solo dungeons when I first started my account. And it gave me a lot of good silver to help me put into other investments like islands and different types of armor, and it helped out my account a lot. And this is one of the ones I recommend for new and returning players to build up their silver here in Albion Online. Now, the last and final way to make silver here in Albion Online is going to be gathering. So when it comes to gathering, so here are some of the dungeon scrolls I have, but when it comes to gathering, you can gather in tier 5 zones like yellow zones and still make a pretty good profit if you have higher level gathering. When it goes tier 6 and above and you want to start doing black zone gathering, you can make really good profit if you can find some juicy zones with some enchant as well as a lot of material that hasn't been gathered over time. This right here would be if you were a tier 4 skinning gather. If you had tier 4 skinning and you wanted to only gather for money, this is what I would recommend you put on. You put on the full skinner outfit, an Avalonian skinning knife. You don't actually equip it, but you keep it in your inventory so you can get that 10% more gathering yield, as well as a pork pie. The reason you want gathering yield, we have the gathering yield right over here. So for hide yield, we have 19.5%, meaning that every time that I skin something, there's a 19.5% chance that I will get a gathering proc. So let's say I get one tier 5 hide when I'm skinning, there's a 19.5% chance that I will get a second one. And when you put on this full outfit and you have the pork pie running, which gives you 15% more gathering yield, as well as you are skinning with the Avalonian skinning knife, that number will become even higher. And when you get to high tier gathering, you can get this number above 100%. And when you get it above 100%, we're talking farther more months down into the future once you're grinding out your gathering, but you can get 2 gathering procs. So I'm not going to go too much into details on this, as well as, again, I have another video on my YouTube channel if you do want to take the gathering route. My video teaches you how to get started with gathering, as well as saving your learning points. That's something you need to do if you want to be gathering a lot. You need to save your learning points on the Destiny board, because you need to use these to level up your gathering spec. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. I wanted to keep it as short as possible and kind of point you guys in the right direction. I have a lot of videos on the YouTube channel that can help teach you these methods more in depth, but the point of this video was to lay it all out in just a basic manner and just let you guys know the best 3 methods that are tried and true and work at any time in the lifespan of Albion. I'm not going to teach you guys some weird market method to go flip stuff or any kind of stuff like that that'll probably die the next day if everyone starts doing it. I want to give you guys 3 methods that are tried and true, everyone is doing, and a lot of players are making really good silver off of. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next video, and I'll see all of you in Albion Online.